Hi, today we're revisiting my last 5-star predicts video. So I had 5 books, obviously. No, wait, not obviously. I had 5 books in my last 5-star predicts video. And today a couple of days ago, I finished the last of them. So I'm going to talk about these 5 books now. So I obviously predicted all these would be 5 stars, and I was kind of successful. 3 of them were 5 stars, 1 was a 4-star, and 1 was a 4.75 stars. So we're gonna have a quick talk about all of them. So the first of these that I read was Biancareads by Anna Marie McLemore. This is a magical realism story. I'm like really unable to communicate today. This is a magical realism story following kind of the tale of Swan Lake, a bit of Rose Red, something what, oh, I can't remember. And we follow, and there's a bit of an ugly duckling trope. We follow 2 sisters, Blanca and Roja, obviously, and their family, every generation, or every family of children. One of the sisters, there's always pairs of girls, and one of them goes missing. I mean taken by swans. The swans come and take a girl. And Blanca and Roja have kind of figured out their whole life which one of them's gonna be the one that goes, but they don't really want that to be the way it is, and they're both each other's favorite person, and they're both just desperate for each other to stay and for them to be the one that goes. And it's this big complex look at desire. There's also 2 love interest boys. One of them's a trans boy, one of them's dealing with a lot of family violence, and it's so lovely. I did only give this a 4 stars though, and I think that was because I'd come off another one of her books which I thought just hit the mark a little better than this. I read Wild Beauty the same month or the month before, and Wild Beauty just had every component come together a lot better. This has an ecological element that comes in near the end, and I just thought it wasn't developed well. It kind of came out of nowhere. Not came out of nowhere. It resolved one of the boys' plot lines, but it played a strong role near the end, but was absent until 2/3 of the way through, where it kind of popped up. So this was not a 5 stars for me, but I did really, really enjoy it. I thought it was beautiful, beautifully written. Anna Marie McLemore's books are always beautifully written, and I would definitely read more of them. I've read this in Wild Beauty, so there's 2 more of hers that I've yet to read, but I'm definitely keen to read them because this is gorgeous. So that was a fail, but not a solid fail. I didn't hate it. Then I read, what did I read next? I think it was The Bear and the Nightingale that I read next by Catherine Arden. This I did give a 5 stars. This is a very slow-paced, kind of slice of lifey to an extent story. We follow what's her name? Vasya. And it's in Russia at a time where the local custom and tradition follows these little there's spirits. There's house spirits and spirits of the stable, and they're these little things that keep out the mean spirits of the forest and things. But the Catholic Church is also coming into Russia, and it's kind of that complicated bridge. It has some fantasy elements, and Vasya can see the house spirits guarding the home when most people can't, and it's kind of her trying to protect those to keep the family safe, where everyone's dying as they lose faith in these little creatures. It is very slow paced. It's a lot of building and careful consideration, but there is a plot, I guess, and the characters are so lovely, and I'm really excited to continue this series. It was just really, really good, and I want to keep going. I really liked it. Then I read another slice of life story that has a bit of a plot. That is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. This is a sci-fi series following their collection of companion novels. I'm currently reading the third one. And the first one follows the Wayfarer, which is a ship that punches holes in space to like make tunnels, I guess. And their only way to make a new tunnel in this area, in this like place, this planet, at this planet, to get them to this planet that has this warring people that have never before been integrated into the galactic group. But this small planet has a lot of resources that are kind of trying to be exploited a little, and so they're trying to get a connection with them, and so the Wayfarer is sent into this area to then punch back and make the tunnel. But there's a lot that happens on the way. A lot of it's about like the adventure of them getting there, and we follow their like interspecies crew and dealing with a lot of issues of what it means to be like human, but in this case not human, just like sapient. It was really beautiful. I think the whole series is really beautiful. A lot of people didn't like the books as they went on, but I am really enjoying book 3 so far, though it is definitely, this is probably the most plot driven of the series. Book 2 is less plot driven but still has a plot, and I think book 3 almost has no plot but is really there to kind of explore some of the nuances of existence, but I like that, so I'm on board. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. It was great. So win for me on this one. Then the next one was also 5 stars. So this was the final one that I actually gave 5 stars, and this is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGuinness. This is like a contemporary with some thriller elements, mystery elements. We follow Alex, whose sister was brutally raped and murdered, and the guy that did it got away with it, but everyone in town knows who did it, but he just got off scot-free, and then he died. Dramatically was murdered. And we find out really early in the novel that it was Alex that did it. And she's really capable of these acts of violence. She has this streak in her that she can't seem to quell. And she considers herself like not a sociopath because she feels empathy. She thinks that's her problem, is that she feels empathy for people who are wronged too much, and then becomes violent and wants to kill people. Yes. I really loved this. I wasn't sure if it was a 5 stars until the very end. The ending is nuts, and that solidified this as 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. I would definitely give it a reread. It was great. And then finally the last 5-star prediction that I read, and I just finished this month, so I will be talking about it in my May wrap up as well, but I'll briefly talk about it here in this video. And that is In Other Lands by Sarah Reese Brennan. I ended up giving this a 4.75, so it was really close, and if you round up, I guess it's 5 stars. This is a portal fantasy kind of spoof. We follow Elliot, who comes from our world, and at age 13 he gets invited over this wall into what they call the Borderlands, where there's elves and mermaids and harpies and trolls and all kinds of stuff. And at the border we have humans who have always lived in the Borderlands, and he becomes kind of frenemies with one of them. That's Luke, Sunborn, who he thinks is just like, he thinks Luke thinks the light sun shines out of his own ass. Not that Luke necessarily thinks that, but Luke's like beautiful and very talented and a great warrior. Elliot's kind of ends up in the stream at this border school for more of the diplomacy kind of aspects, but everyone in this world doesn't really respect diplomacy. It's kind of gone the way of the dodo. And they all just solve their battles by having wars and making these alliances that are really like one-sided, and it's all kind of manipulative, and benefits the humans and like no one else. And Elliot's like, what the heck, that's not how you get peace, but they don't want peace, they want continual war. So Luke is in the war path, Elliot's in the diplomacy path, I can't remember what they call it. And then they also have another friend, Serene, who's an elf. short for Serene Heart and the Chaos of Battle. She wants to run both paths of this school, and kind of it's like their little friendship group from age 13 to 17 as they have some battles and but mostly a lot of like relationship drama, but not in like a dramatic kind of way, but in like a oh my gosh that's so cute kind of way. Elliot is a bisexual being, Luke's gay, Serene is the elves are like a matriarchal society, but like a mirror reflection on our society. So the female elves really look down on the male elves and are like, oh, you cute little things, you stay over there and do your sewing and whatever. They're too sensitive to be in battle, and that was a real cool exploration. I think the only thing that I really struggled with in this book that kind of brought it down from a 5 stars is that there are no chapters. There's like 5 big sections, or 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah, 5 big sections for each year of their life, and then like scenes are broken up just by like the scene gap line. And I understand the point, but I really use chapters as goal setting, which meant that this was a drudge to get through. Like I just really struggled to focus and sit and read for a long period of time and get through a lot of this book. Also, there's so much that happens that sometimes a sentence can be really pivotal and change the whole, like, what's happening in the scene regularly. So you really have to be focusing and paying attention to every word, which meant that often I do my reading like while watching the TV with the fam, and I couldn't really do that with this book. It was really hard to I had to be fully focused on this book, and it was really easy to get distracted, and really hard to like maintain everything. I was reading the same thing over and over again unless I was like in my room with no sound on my own. So that was also another bit of a problem. But the actual plot and the characters I really enjoyed, and the writing style's fun. And the spoof themes are all done really, really well. So it was a 4.75 stars. I would recommend it, but it does require a lot of focus. So these were all my 5-star predictions. We had 1 ended up being a 4-star, 3 ended up being a 5-star, and 1 ended up being a 4.75 star. So I think overall I did a pretty good job at predicting. I'm pleased with myself. But if you want to check out what books I'm currently predicting are 5 stars, I have a 5-star fantasy and a 5-star sequels prediction video that are already out. So go check those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Comment down below if you have any books you would predict at 5 stars, or if you want to chat to me about any of these books I've talked about today. Otherwise, I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!